Happy Friday, everyone. This is my Wolves vs West Ham Premier League preview. Can we beat Nuno's West Ham? West Ham, who are struggling and obviously are down in the bottom three with us, better off in terms of points. I've just watched Rob Edwards' press conference. It was heavily... The narrative was a lot about Mane, a lot of it. He had a few questions about Mane.
I've said that we don't want to put too much pressure and expectation on him, but his performances have been really good, really encouraging. So it's great that people get excited about him. We want that, but that's all completely down to him. He's deserved to play. He's deserved to stay on the pitch when he's been playing as well, and so it's nice. And again, it's a nice thing for people to be talking about in what is a difficult period at the moment. So he's been great, and I think some of his infectious energy has rubbed off as well, which has been good.
He also spoke about January, about the right players coming in.
We're talking about January, so could you clarify, is there fresh money to spend in January, or is it a case that you're going to have to generate your own funds?
We might have to do that, yeah, we might have to. Depends on what we want to try and bring in as well. So, and there's different ways of doing that, whether it's buying, whether it's loaning, however we would look at it. Of course, January could be quite difficult anyway, and with the situation that we're in, we've got to be clever with who we're bringing in. We want to bring in the people who want to be here, who feel that they can really affect it, and we feel can affect it as well. But if we're going to spend some money, it might be that we have to generate some of that as well.
Okay.
So it looks like we're going to be selling to buy, which you get. And I think there is going to be a lot of activity. He was asked about Strand Larsen as well, but he said, look, it ain't just Strand Larsen. There's going to be interest for a few players. But he said Larsen's attitude's good in training, which is good to see as well. He also spoke about needing to get fans on side, because obviously the atmosphere hasn't been that great at Molineux, because we haven't seen us win in so long. But as I say, this is a massive game for West Ham. They've got us coming up the weekend. Then they've got Nottingham Forest. They find themselves down there in 18th. They're like a few points behind Forest. Obviously, they're well ahead of us, but they've got to beat us, really. And they've got to get a result against Nuno's old team, Forest, if they've got a chance of staying up. I know the ownership and fans are not happy with Nuno. Honestly, I thought he'd get them out of it, so I'm quite surprised to see the position they're in. But their squad ain't great. Obviously, they've got Bowen, ex-Wolves player Kilman at the back. But yeah, they're struggling. They could go down after spending around 14 years in the Premier League. I know their fans are not happy. All they've had protests and all sorts. And Nuno's future is a doubt. So it'd be interesting to see what happens if they don't beat us this fixture. And just in terms of head-to-head history, we have played West Ham 18 times in Premier League history. We've won 8. There's been 1 draw and they've won 9. So they just edge it, but it's very, very tight on the history. We did beat them 1-0 at home last season. Strand Larsen got the goal that game, and that was in one of the games in our winning 6-game run under Vitor. We, of course, beat them 3-2 at Molineux in the League Cup this season after being 2-1 down. 2 late goals from Jørgen Strand Larsen again got us the win in the early rounds of the League Cup. And at that point, a lot of people thought we were going to be okay, but obviously it's gone on to be a bit of a disaster, to be perfectly honest. But now, team prediction is going to be an interesting one. So obviously Andre has served his suspension, so he's going to be back in for this game. So, but a lot of people will not agree. It worked quite well with John Arias and Mane, like in and around João Gomez in like a 5-3-2 with Hwang and Tolo up there. Obviously, I want to see Hwang get dropped, but the team I'd go for, and I think he might actually go with, is keep Jose Sa in goal. I think he'll go Chatura again, because he was okay at United, I thought. Doherty, Mosquera, who had a fantastic game. Some of his stats was absolutely brilliant. And Krejci. Then I think he'll go Hugo Bueno again at left wing back. Then João Gomez. I actually don't think he'll put Andre back in because of how good the performance is. So I think it'll be Jean Arias and Mane floating in front of João Gomez with like a 3 with Tolu and Akaderi. And I've got a weird feeling he's going to put Fer Lopez in. I think he's going to put Fer Lopez in instead of Hwang. So that's going to be the team I'll go for. Obviously, there's shouts for Strand Larsen and Hwang and Andre to come back in, but that's what I think it will be. And that's what I hope it is, because that's the team that performed well at Man United, as mentioned, and we want to get a hunt for our first win. Now, in terms of score prediction, with my head, I think West Ham is a massive game for them, big game for us, but we do crumble at home under pressure. So I think I'm going to say Wolves 1, West Ham 1. Goals from, I think Tolu will get a goal. And then I think Bowen for West Ham. With my heart, Wolves 4, West Ham 1. My bet will come in. And yeah, I think Tolu will get a couple. Maybe Strand Larson will come on and get one, and let's go with João Gomez. And then maybe old boy Kilman to rise up like a salmon and get one with his head for West Ham. That's with my heart. Obviously, that's me being biased and a bit unrealistic. But what do you think of this fixture? It's a big one. Can we start 2026 with a bang? That'd be really nice, wouldn't it? You know, we're unbeaten in 2026, and yeah, 2025 was terrible. Absolutely terrible, especially the second half of the year. Obviously, we haven't won a Premier League game since April 2025. So let's try and end that. And let's try and hope Molineux's rocking. Now Jeff Shee's gone. A bit of a new beginning, new transfer window. And yeah, there we go. I hope I hope Wolves can get their win. And unfortunately, it will dampen down Nuno, our old boy Nuno. But we're Wolves fans. We're not Nuno fans. So he could lose his job. But there we go. But please like the video. Please comment your thoughts on this fixture and my team selection and things like that. Please subscribe. It really helps. Try and get to around 15,000 this year. That's the goal, I reckon, for the rest of this year. 15,000 subscribers. And I'll catch you all post West Ham, unless any other news comes up. Cheers, everyone. Have a good weekend.